Alright, it's been a while since the last update for Demon Slayer. Me, the developers and the testers have worked really hard to get this update out. We spent almost, I'd say around more than 2 weeks constantly just been working on the update and just figuring out what to do, planning out new skills and ideas and then working on it. So yeah, this update is officially update 3 for Demon Slayer, and I'm actually really proud of this update. This update is called Update 3. And the update theme for this month is demons. So I love the update. In this update is based on new demon arts, new skills, revamped demon arts, and just like overall polishing and cleaning a lot of stuff. Not just that also, but we've also just added extra stuff with this update. Like just a lot of like overall polishing and fixing and etc. New codes will be at 60,000 subscribers, and obviously the new codes that are released right now will be near the end of this video. So, hope you enjoy the video. So in the first category of the update, we've got the new UI polishing. So as you can see here, the settings and store has been moved up to the top left corner of the UI. Not only that, but the chat has been moved to the bottom right as of the moment. We might change it to bottom left if we're gonna update the UI a bit more, so that might be a little bit after the update, but for now it'll be a bottom right. Not only that, if you click store, there's a new store page, so it's not very clunky anymore. You can see all the game products in one UI without scrolling super down or anything, and then it still shows you the information so you know what you're buying and such. Now, another little polish added, the smoke effect, which was like on slam downs and such in the game, like Arrow and like Hunt Tengu, etc. So the particles used to cover up so much we can barely see the opponent, but now if I hit King, let's see, so you see now like the dust is like, it's not always clutching around the player, and it's a new effect which I think looks overall better. Another small change is crouching no longer has the footprints and darkens the screen anymore. When I added it to update 1, I thought it'd be more of a useful feature, but turned out, you know, it wasn't really that practical in like the open world because, you know, it just wasn't really that useful. So now it's more of a cosmetic kind of change. So if you just want to crouch now, you can still see all the lighting and stuff and etc. So just alright. So for the first demon art that's been had a new like original revamp is Tamari. So Tamari used to have no effects and just kind of was very plain overall and such. But now Tamari's got like a few updated effects. So as you come here, you go to King. So first of all, the E skill now has particle effects and trails, which just looks better. The ball has overall mole effects. And if you come to any ground material that isn't smooth terrain, so you come over here, you see the ball has a little rubble effect on the floor, just overall all nice with particles and such, just to make it look nicer. But now if I hit it on King, the skill, now the Tamari balls, instead of just deleting, they just bounce on the floor. So they bounce from the opponent and they just stay around on the map a bit, and then eventually they will disappear. So just overall like a cosmetic change, but it just makes Tamari look overall a lot better. Now for the second skill got an entire revamp, including animation revamp and such. So it's still partly the same skill, but it's way more powerful, bigger hitbox, more damage, higher speed, and the animation just looks really nice. So I'm about to use it. So I'm okay. I missed with this skill as well. It's not, you're not just stuck on like one plane, so you can actually like move a little bit as well. So if you wanted to move around, you know, you can do that as well. So it just follows the player and it's pretty smooth. And then for the third skill, it's kind of similar to the first, just more effects and such overall. So if you do this, but like you see like a bunch of Tamari balls coming out and such. So I don't think these will cause lag, so it'll be overall good, since they delete pretty quickly. And Tamari's fourth is still the same, but overall I think Tamari just visual update and the second revamp, it just looks a lot more nicer overall, and just as and now we're gonna move on to Arrow. Alright, so next we move on to Arrow. So Arrow's got like a lot of changes in terms of mechanics and visuals. So first, the first skill now, let's see the first skill. So a few little changes. So as you see here, when you use a skill, you got this like eye pop-up effect, which looks really nice, like really clean. So that's like a big plus. Not only that, the trail, though it looks similar, it has changed. Before it used to stretch very long and just looked really weird. Now it's got more for neon glow effect, so in nighttime it should look really nice, and it just has a shorter trail, so it just looks more like Arrow from the anime and such. Now this is what I mean by mechanical change. So if I use the first skill on King, before it used to ragdoll, the opponent, and what that do, sometimes in game mode you get flung out the map or there'll be glitches around, like you stuck in the floor. But now it has like an animation where like the arrow follows you and slams you down and creates a smoke effect. So this should cause a lot of like, like just a lot less bugs and such overall. Also, when I hit the skill, you see his character's highlighted, right? And when his character's highlighted red, that means with the skill that you can't attack like any, like he has iframes during that, so you can't just make like an infinite combo. Yeah, he has like time to roll out and all that. So if I king, next we move on to the second skill. So the second skill, if you just use it normally, it looks pretty much normal, but when it lands, it looks a lot different. So now the second skill has a better trail effects. Has new particles, new hit animation. So for the player point of view, which King will record, you'll see the animation and such. So if I just use it, so you got new particles, trails a lot smoother, and you'll see the other point of view in the second, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Next we got RST. Few balance changes. The balancing will overall be at the end of the video. This is more for just visual or revamp design and such. So we use T. You have like the you got like the bunch of eyes are popping out and such. Overall looks pretty much the same. It's like the least change compared to the second and first skill. Now we move on to the new arrow skill. So arrow has a new skill. It's not the fifth skill, it's just an updated first skill. So if you hold the E skill, you hold it for a second, then let go, you summon 3 arrows, right? And these 3 arrows will track anyone around them, don't block. So they don't damage, but they stun, so you can lead into an M1 combo with that, basically. So it has tracking. So King, when I use it again, the cooldown is pretty high, so it's like 15 seconds. King, try to run away. So how it kind of works as well, if I use the skill and then run towards King, the arrow tracking is like based on my character. So since King, try run now. When I use the skill. One second. When I use the skill. So if I just follow King, for example, you see, try run. You see how the arrow tracks him, and it's basically keep trying to run away. I keep trying to run away. So you see it tracks overall based on where my character is the closest opponent. So it'll be good for combo starters and such, but it has a pretty high cooldown and such. So yeah, that's the new arrow skill, and we'll move on to the next demon art. Alright, so now we move on to Gyoto. Now Gyoto has visual update changes, but also Gyoto has got an entire revamp of its demon art. So I'll be showing you all that now. So first we go to the first skill. So these are more the visual changes. So the first skill got particles on the arms, and the part model has new water effect. It just looks a bit nicer. And then when you teleport now, it breaks with like particles, like the part, and has new sound effects. So just a little update in the visuals. The second skill also just got a visual update as well. And if you're noticing, this red bar is going up. This is a part of the revamp. So I'll explain that in a second. We go to the third skill. Now the third skill also has a visual revamp. Now the beam connects to the player properly, and you see the beam's way more animated and just looks a lot better compared to the old version. I'll show a clip of the old version right now, and you can see just how disgusting it looked before and how much better it looks now. Now we move on to the revamp. So you see this red bar goes up. This is your rage bar. This was also in Spider Dad, but with Spider Dad you had to obtain it through a different way by holding G. So each demon art will have a unique way of getting the rage bar. So if I get it to 50%, by the way, each bullet of the water bullet and prism stacks. So if I hit multiple people, it will stack more rage bar. So now if I use Y, this is water release mode. So water release mode gives you new skills and such. So I'll show off right now. So if you use E, summon a part, and then it will shoot these fishes, which will surround the player and keep stunning them to lead into an M1 combo. So it's really, really good for that. I'll show off like a better example. So if I use it, for example, here, and then once it hits, it keeps stunning, and then you can M1 combo new skills. Now the second skill is really cool. So if I do this, second skill, you stomp on the floor and shoot like these water pillars coming out. It shoots 3. The third one at the furthest guard breaks. The other 2 are blockable. And if you hit one, it will hit the other ones nicely and such. So, Hi King, if you could block. So you see the closest one blocks, and then the farthest one will guard break. Right, just wait for it to cool down a little bit. So now the third one, furthest away with guard break. As you see there, it works really nicely. If I use water mode, right? Now, if I press T, this little green bubble surrounds me. So if I here, M2 me, King. So now you see the guard break doesn't stun, right? So the water shield kind of gives you a free guard break. It lasts for around 20-30 seconds. So whenever you get guard broken, it's basically a free guard break escape, which is a new type of skill in the game. Now we go to the octopus mode. Now the octopus mode, if you look at the Google Doc, it's got a lot of balance patches, so you can't infinite combo anymore. But now, since you know, there's octopus mode now, we added as well. The octopus mode is now more balanced. We've added new skills to it. So, unlike the water release form, the octopus mode can last as long as you want, as long as you have 100% meter. So you can, example, you can go back to your normal mode and then go back to octopus mode. Unlike the water release form, which you're forced into it until it runs out. So you got the first skill, which is like a dash type skill. The animation will probably get updated a bit more. Didn't have time for this update, so yeah, that's a new dash skill. The second skill is a defense move, which blinds the opponent, so King will record his perspective. You guys are literally just playing catch. But King, it sucks at perfect blocking. Anyways, now we move on to drum. So drum doesn't have much changes, but the first skill got an entire revamp. When looking back on drum, I realized the first and second skill, you know, just didn't look that good overall. Like, not the second skill, more like the first and second skill are very similar. So it felt like, looking back on it, it feels really lazy. And how come I just made it very similar moves? So now the first skill has been completely revamped. So if you guys would stop playing fucking catch, thank you. So now if I'll use the skill, so if I use the first drum skill, it's an AoE barrage combo extender. So before, drum didn't really have much combos, but now due to the first skill, you know, it's just a lot better. So second skill is still the same, guard breaks, but now it flings up in the air. But that's in the Google Doc, go read. So now example, like if I use this, so combo extender, use this, and then you can use the second skill as well. So for drum users, you guys should enjoy this update. The first skill is a lot better, and it's actually really good. So we'll go on to the next team now. Alright, now we're going to Nagame. So yeah, when I released Nagame, there was only 2 skills, and I said there would be a third skill, and we waited, and I guess now it's finally here. So Nagame's third skill will also be updated constantly, like after release. So Nagame is literally just an RNG demon arts. That's kind of this whole kind of purpose besides the first skill. So I want to kind of keep that up. So after the update, there will be new Nagame variants over time overall, since none of the how to add anyways. So alright, we go to Nagame's third. So there are currently 3 variations. 2 of them are completely unique, and one of them is similar to like a DMR that's already been released. So if I use T for example, we got Tamio. So Tamio summons and heals the user, aka me, and regens my health. Obviously I'm full health, but you can test out yourself, it will heal you for a small duration of time, which is pretty cool. The first, I think, healing in the game. If I can hopefully get the second one, which is the Hontengu Spear. Except with the Hontengu Spear, you get the lightning effect. So the lightning effect will make like the M1s faster. So it has like faster M1s compared to Hontengu. And this will last around like 30 seconds or such. When you do get the Hontengu Spears, you can't get it from the variation again until it goes away. So hopefully now, you see you got your Haba and Tamari. So they use a combination kind of attack where, you know, similar to the anime in season 1 where Tamari shot the balls and the arrow directed it towards the user. So Tamari threw the balls around the area, and then Tamari auto aimed it towards the opponent. So yeah, that's Nagame's third skill. There will be more variations, and if you guys are in the demon chat for Demon Sir, you know what the other skills will be when you know, I do work on them. So yeah, Alright, now we move on to Swamp. Now Swamp doesn't really have much in the visual update department besides just, you know, visually redesigning a few skills. So the first skill now, if you pop in, pop out, it's got new particles which just look way better than the old, you know, mesh puddle on the floor now. So that looks a lot better. And now the third skill also has a little bit of an update. Has a, when you summon it, has a little explosion and sparks around it, like like kind of water droplet particles and stuff. But yeah, Swamp also got balance changes, which will be in the balance part of the video, or you know, if you really Google that, you can also check it through that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Swamp. Pretty short, but pretty nice overall. Alright, now we move on to like the extras part of this. So this is just adding some extra stuff and stuff. So first we're going to settings. So as you see in settings now, in gameplay, people wanted the mute combat music, you know, they just want to listen to your own music and such. So now that's an option in settings which will save throughout the game. So if you just enable it, combat music will be disabled. Another thing as well, in VIP commands, there's a disable night toggle. So well, no toggle. So basically if you click this, the server, the private server, will stay in daytime, and if you wanted to go back to nighttime, you have to shut down the private server, so you can't, like, you know, use it, like glitch it out. So no, you know, just extra stuff as well. Not only that, but shouldn't, if you use M2, Kokushibo sword got a new M2 animation and has the particle and sound effects, which the M2 looks really nice. I really like it. So a little update for the Kokushibo sword for you guys. Now we are gonna move on to just a little small extra thing, because I have a water breathing bias. I'm just joking, but shouldn't, if you use like the fast skill, for example, the foam have been updated once again. If you use the second skill on me as well, so the water foam just looks a lot better now, a lot more like water breathing, and yeah, overall really nice effects. Now we move on to the next category. All right, and now we move on to the new demon art. So I did say in the Chrono Studio server that the demon art is kind of an underrated demon art. And I believe this will be the first time this demon art has been added to a Roblox Demon Slayer game. So, this demon art is the flute demon art. So, if you guys don't know, yes, this isn't actually in the manga of Demon Slayer nor the anime, but it is in an extra one-shot manga about Rengoku. And this demon art I actually found really cool. And a lot of the skills are pretty much from the manga one-shot, and obviously I put my own spin on it. But it's really cool. So we'll show off the skills. So King, when I use the skill, I want you to try to run away, but don't block, okay? So first we use the first skill, right? Which is the wolf summon. So the wolf, you see, it runs towards the player and tracks them, right? So it runs and tracks. So it's kind of like a summoning skill, right? Now, King, don't move. So if he lands, as you can see, damage the opponent and rips off their arm, which is also really good, like, you know, against demons especially, since a lot of demons require both hands, like Tamari, Arrow, Flute, and Nagame. So yeah, the first skill is really cool. Auto tracks, and how you aim the skill, you aim your torso around the player, facing towards the player, as well as your mouse. So usually when you're in shift lock, and it will target that specific player. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now we move on to the second skill. So the second skill has two phases. So first is the fast phase. Here, shouldn't block, and then King, you don't block. This skill is a AoE guard break as well, only in close range. So now you see both opponents have this red highlight, right? This is a damage buff. So any damage they take, any M1, any M2, any demon skills or any breathing skills, they will take 15% more damage. Now there's a second phase. If I use this skill again, you see King is stunned, and he will record his perspective of what his effects look like when he gets stunned, since the demon flute paralyzes opponents. Now you see he didn't get attacked by the second phase, because how it works in the second phase, when you use the flute again, it only targets one of the players instead of all of them, basically. So it's not too broken, but it's really, really good, and especially in 1v1s. So now we're going to move on to the third skill. So the third skill is a combo extender, but not a regular combo extender. So how it works is it summons two wolves, and you're free to move however you want. So example, when you were using example, if you look at Tamari's combo 10 or arrows, you're kind of slowed down and you're kind of forced to stay there. But example, if I use T, I'm free to move how I want basically, right? So it summons 2 wolves, guard breaks, and yeah. So if example, if I use it on see, guard breaks the opponent as well. So the third hit actually flings back, but the first 2 don't. So if you don't land the third skill, it doesn't knock back. So shouldn't come in and don't guard break, like don't block. I mean, so no. So you see, if the third one lands, it flings them around. Obviously, if they guard break, if they block, they get guard broken, so you can combo off that as well. So example, what you could do, a little tip, you can summon this and try to M1 behind their back. Is a pretty good strategy for the Flute Demon Art. So yeah, the third skill is really cool. Now we move on to the fourth skill. So the fourth skill is a counter, but unlike all the other counters in the game, I'd actually say this is the best one, right? So King stand there. So what I mean by the best one is because this counter, unlike Flowers and Tengu's, has infinite range. So here, use yeah, use that. So you see what happens there is I play the flute and then my character highlights to show that the counter hits, and then the wolf summons behind the opponent and knocks them back. Basically, it's a guaranteed hit if they get hit by the counter. So it's really good. So can you use the fast skill again? Like E? I use E also. So it's a guaranteed hit. They can't block it or nothing, and it's really good. And it has literally infinite range. So if I use it here, if he hits me through there and it hits, it has really long range. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the new demon art. Personally, I think it is my favorite new demon art now. Previously it was on Tengu, but I'm really proud of the demon art. It's really cool. Yeah, I had so much fun working on it. So for the balancing, the Google Doc will be linked in the description. We didn't have much time to go over the balancing. I think it just stretched the video longer than it already is. I'd rather make it not too long so it's more consumable. So yeah, if you want to look at the balancing and everything, it's all listed in the Google Doc in the link in the description. So yeah, this is it for the update. I had so much fun working on this update. It was really cool. Loved visiting old demon arts and creating new ones and new skills overall in this update, and just really polishing the game as well. Like it just doing the polishing is also a really cool side activity within the update. And yeah, also on screen right now you see the optimization stuff. So if you just read that real quick, yeah, the game should be a lot more smoother in game now, so that would be great. So public servers won't be as laggy, and hopefully I'm pretty sure it'll be the lag will be mostly gone from now on, I hope. So yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in the video. It was really fun working on this update again, bro. I actually really did enjoy this update. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the videos, and the codes will appear now.